I think, my mother had an expression, out of everything terrible, something good will come if you look hard enough for it. I think this presents us with some significant opportunities to make some real changes. We are at an inflection point, I believe, in the world economy. Not just the world economy, in the world. It occurs every 3 or 4 generations. As one of the top military people said to me in a secure meeting the other day, 60 million people died between 1900 and 1946. And since then, we established a liberal world order, and that hadn't happened in a long while. A lot of people dying, but nowhere near the chaos. And now is a time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it, and we've got to unite the rest of the free world in doing it.
Right, I thought y'all want to see this video my niece sent me. I'm just going to do this real quick. Show it to you. What we got here? We got 2 dogs chasing a cow out in somebody's backyard. What in the world? The hell is it? Oh, dog bites cow. Oh, cow is in the pool. Oh my good dog is going in the pool after the cow. Oh my goodness, they are in the deep end. They are in the deep end. Oh, dog is biting cow. Cow puts him under the water, dunks him. Oh, he can't get out. He can't get out. They both stuck in the pool, in the deep end, over the head. What in the world? What's this in the background? Oh my goodness, we got a cowboy coming in. We got a cowboy coming in. Oh, he's got a lasso. Oh my goodness. No, 2 cowboys. Oh my goodness. Cow trying to get out. He's in the shallow end. Lasso. Oh, he's doing a lasso thing. Oh my goodness. He got the cow with the lasso.
Are you bored of your monotonous existence? The demeaning tasks? The soul-destroying repetition? The grey faceless drones that you work with? Is there a way out? How can you escape this? Join us. Come too. Veridora, the land of opportunity. The fantastical land of opportunity where you can be what you were destined to be. You can blossom. Join us. From sea to shining sea. Across our land we are surrounded by natural beauty and natural beauties. In Veridora, our beaches are completely unspoiled. Just like our women. Our land is plentiful and bountiful. Our cities are vibrant, engaging, colourful, enjoyable. Anything and everything that you need is there within your grasp, right there. Within 15 minutes. You will own absolutely nothing, but you will be ecstatic. Join us. It's within the grasp of anyone to become a citizen of Veridora. You'll never look back once you're there. You don't need to worry about anything. Democracy? Who cares? You have your benevolent dictators, Ben and John, who will look after your every need, make all the important decisions for you. You don't need to worry your pretty little head. You just go out and enjoy yourself. You'll get extras. You'll get early access to our dear leader's announcements. You too can become a citizen of Veridora. Just join us by becoming a citizen today at ko-fi.com/chasingdescent or patreon.com/chasingdescent or by using the join button on YouTube. You know you want to.
Veridora is not a physical place, and all rewards offered for membership will be fulfilled in a timely fashion. Chasing Descent appreciate any and all ongoing support. Not a cult.
passion, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you
Good evening, Ben. Hold on.
What you done?
I thought your audio's not coming through.
What do you mean my audio's not coming through?
Your audio is not coming through on OBS.
I can hear you both.
Can you hear me on? Can you
I
hear
can
us
hear
on YouTube? Not
you
on
hear
Ring
us on-
Central. Forget Ring Central. Can you hear us on YouTube?
Hello?
Oh, right. No.
Yeah, it's fine.
Right. We should be okay. Right. Sorry. My mistake. Very Dora. You know you want to. You've gone again.
What is going on?
Right, try it now.
Hello? Hello? Yeah, it's in the show. I can hear it.
That's
Yeah, it's all better now.
any
Would
echo?
not be an episode... It wouldn't be an episode of Chasing Descent without this shite, would it? Let's face it. Now-
Indeed, it would not.
Now, let's talk about ESG for a minute, shall we, boys? Before we get into the show proper.
Go on.
And for those of you who don't know what ESG is, it is basically what all of the woke corporations sign up to in order to impress Daddy Think over at BlackRock. It's failing. It's wokery. And just in the last few weeks, we've seen Disney fire their diversity and inclusion manager. Warner have fired theirs. And just today, the BBC or BBC Media Studios have fired theirs as well. So do we see a bit of a pattern going on here, boys?
Sounds like it.
Sounds like it, doesn't it? Sounds like these diversity and inclusion initiatives simply aren't working. I mean, Disney's screwed because The Little Mermaid is losing money. It's not going to turn a profit.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is not going to turn a profit. That film needs to make $900 million to break even, by the way.
What film?
Indiana Jones.
How?
Because it's cost around 400 in total with all the reshoots.
Right.
Then you've got the marketing spend. And then you've got to remember, they don't get 100% of the box office. They get about 50% of the box office on return. So you've got to make pretty much double what you've spent in order to break even.
What did they spend that money on, Ben?
Well, they essentially shot the movie twice. Let's face it. Harrison Ford also, as usual, shut down production for several weeks because he got injured.
Right.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're an 80-year-old man, though. And
Oh,
you're
he hurt
trying
his
to do
ankle, didn't he?
physical stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he broke his ankle on the set of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I believe I've seen reports from Disney insiders that say that Bob Iger called Kathleen Kennedy up over at Lucasfilm and said, if Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny does not make $900 million, you're out the door.
Bye, Kathleen. There's no way.
I think it might be time.
There's no way. Let's face it. There is no way it's making $900 million. It is getting panned.
No.
It is getting panned. Reviews are saying it's dross.
Well, do you remember the trailer when the first trailer came out and he got a funny small head, hadn't he?
No.
Yeah,
I never
on that
saw it.
horse.
I never saw it. Oh, yeah. I remember you mucking about with that. Yeah, it wasn't fully formed though. The trailer. It was a bit like.
No.
Do you remember when the Hulk, the Eric Bana Hulk came out, and the Hulk wasn't properly. He was just like a green blob. He wasn't a proper Hulk.
Yeah.
But they fixed that by the time they actually put the movie out.
Yeah, and I imagine from what I understand, and I've not seen the Dial of Destiny yet. I've had tickets to see it twice already, and I've just not bought myself to do it.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, the first 20 minutes of the movie are really good, and then it's just downhill from there.
It's a shame to ruin such a good brand, though, isn't it? Like that.
Well, this is what Kathleen Kennedy's been doing at Lucasfilm, isn't it? She absolutely all the strong male characters that they had, let's say Luke Skywalker, for example, they wrecked them.
Oh, this.
He turned him into
boyish, effeminate characters.
Yeah, well, the bestest ever. Apparently, Indiana Jones is the sidekick in this movie to Fleabag, as in Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and she's the lead. So,
Okay.
Is that her that? Oh, she just looked annoying. I saw a very brief snippet of an interview or something. They were interviewing him and her. I think, and she's got dark hair, yeah.
Yeah.
And somebody said, "Well, how was the chemistry? How did you two meet?" And he goes, you know, in his 80-year-old crinkly face, "She was mine for the price of a drink," and she just went all freaky, you know, all freaky. Ooh, disgusting type thing.
Well, yeah, she's super woke.
Yeah, so there's obviously no chemistry between them whatsoever. And when you make a movie like that, it never does well. It just doesn't. It can't do well because if there's no chemistry between the two lead actors, you just don't have a movie.
No, you don't. You don't. And I guarantee you that the chemistry between these two is awkward and awful. And do you know what the annoying thing is? Because of the whole ESG thing, they actually let Phoebe rewrite some of this movie.
Oh my god!
Yep.
Whoa! What the hell is going on? We're not receiving enough. Why?
What is going on? It looks fine to me.
YouTube says it's not.
YouTube Studios being a twonk.
Yeah, because I've not dropped any frames.
Yeah, no, it's just YouTube Studio. So let's just continue. Right. Before we do go into the hello, how are you doings and the intros, ladies and gentlemen, we really, really would appreciate your likes. We would really appreciate your support, your subscription if we have not earned it yet. And of course, please hit that share button.
Yeah. You know what? People just don't fucking bother because it's a waste of time. YouTube's just done. You know, just.
We just need cash. I know a lot of people want to send blankets or water. Just send your cash.
Send us cash. That's all we need. That's all we need. Send it to Kofi.
I'm feeling very good,
Kofi.
Shalini.
Send it to Kofi.
I'm feeling very good. I'm about 90%, so I'm raring to go. I'm raring to get stuck right back into work. And I said to John earlier on, actually, he's been an absolute trooper in holding down the fort whilst I've been recovering. So I'm back and I'm good. And with that, John, introduce the show.
Good evening, one and all. Citizens of Veridora, a very special welcome to you. You know who you are. And we, that is Ben and I, and of course Adam, we love you. And welcome to this, episode 232 of Chasing Descent Live. With me, with Ben, with Adam, with me.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
Okay.
Okay, well done. That was wonderful. That was wonderful.
Anyone here?
And it's wonderful to...
Can I ask a question of you,
Yeah.
of Adam, of the troll room, of you all, if you will? Is anyone here like kind of crackling when the music's playing?
No?
No? No?
Seems fine. This end.
Must be my side then. Must be my side. Right, okay.
It must be.
Right, people.
Oh.
People.
Shall we get into the news?
Yeah. Well, shall we start with well, did you want to start with Jackie, no?
Jackie.
Is that a yes or a no?
Look, I can't
Adam?
understand
Yes.
why Jackie Devoy keeps sharing overtly fake news. And I'm saying that as someone who can see just by the fact that the things that she's sharing look absolutely ridiculous, that it's overtly fake news.
Me!
Yeah, thank you for the super chat there, guys. Really appreciate that.
It's
But,
better than Utopia. Better than Utopia.
Yeah, Jackie Devoy's been she's been a columnist for these women's magazines and worked within the mainstream media for like 30 years. And she's just said some things and shared some things in recent months that are just, it's dumbfounding to me. Like the first one was almost an allegation that Nicola Bulley did not exist.
She's maintained that though, Ben. She's said that right from the beginning, hasn't she, of the investigation? It's not a change for her.
And then today she shared a propaganda piece that was made, I believe, by Ukraine about a year ago of jet fighters dropping munitions on Paris. And it was made to show how easy these things are to fake. And she shared it today and said, this seems real.
You know, you know what else was made round about that? Well, was put out as a tweet round about that time. A downed Russian TIE fighter.
Yeah.
She still gets serious work though, doesn't she?
Well, I think she's working with Iconic
Right,
at the
okay.
moment. And then she does other things. I
Is
believe
that-
she still works for some of the British
So do you
rags.
classify that as serious work or not? That's the question.
Well, the thing, they make money, don't they? Iconic, they make money.
Oh, yeah.
It's not.
We all make
Credit where
I mean,
credit's due.
we all don't make money, but I mean, for instance, Ancient Aliens makes money. Is it serious work?
I don't know. Have you seen how much fucking time must go into Giorgio Tsoukalos' hair? I mean, I'm telling you, that man has a stylist hired specifically by the History Channel to make it as ridiculous as possible.
Oh, no,
every
no.
show.
His hair was like that well before the History Channel picked that up.
Yeah, but the History Channel have exacerbated it, and it's got worse and worse and bigger throughout.
Should I do my hair like Giorgio Tsoukalos?
I guess.
I wondered where he came from. I thought he was like South American or something, but he's Swiss. Did you know he was Swiss?
Is he Swiss?
Yeah, he's Swiss. He stays down the road for Eric von Daniken.
Do you know what? I love him. I am.
He
He's
had a theme
harmless.
park, didn't he?
Yeah, but he is absolutely harmless. And
Yeah.
And the whole ancient alien thing, it's a load of shite, but it's absolutely harmless. Yeah. The aliens came down and they bred with the women and now we have human beings. That's basically it. That's what he keeps saying.
You won't be saying that, Ben.
The Anunnaki and the Nephilim, is that what you're talking about? Like, careful, if you're going to
Yeah,
start...
when they come for you both, you won't be saying that.
when you're talking about them, you've got to use the right terminology, you know, or you're going to be mocked.
But at this point, if Jackie Devoy keeps this up, and you know what? I don't want to slam her, but she keeps sharing shite, and she's got a following, and she gets work, and I think she should be more careful with what she is sharing and what she is saying. I mean, when she's sharing something which is clearly CGI and going, this seems real.
Yeah.
Come on, Jackie.
Well, you got to remember.
If you don't know, don't even share it.
She, what age is she? She's got to be what? She's got to be at least middle-aged, yeah?
Yeah.
And she's a woman, so you'll probably find that her eyesight's all shot to hell. And she probably can barely see. What you, oh God, in that? It's biological facts.
Yes, I know.
So there was
Do you
another...
remember her fundraiser?
You remember she fell down
Yeah,
and broke her ankles?
her ankles.
Yeah, yeah.
Remember
It was
that?
very sad.
Maybe that's affected her sight
Yeah.
because she wouldn't have been able to go out much, so she wouldn't be able to get any long range. You know, she'd go out and look far away and then look close, then look far away, then look close. That's how you keep your eyes in trim. Because all those little muscles around your eyes are there to keep your eyes on focus and things like that. And if you don't exercise them by staring at a screen 99% of the time, your eyes will go out of trim. Like I think mine are a little bit out of trim because I've been doing so much screen staring because Ben's been out, you know, playing the field and having drinks and hotel stays and all this while I've been chained
That
to the
was
desk.
one night.
Hey, one night more than me, mate. One night more than me.
Celebrate my
Anyway.
celebrate my recovery. My insides still feel like they've been minced up through a mixer.
Yeah. Do you not think?
weird.
Do you not think if you gave yourself a rest, you would recover a bit quicker? But anyway, let's not go into that again. There was somebody else shared something today that I thought was quite poor, and it was a cluster of people that are having dementia-like symptoms in New Brunswick. Okay.
I saw
Right.
you comment on that, John.
Yeah, which started in 2015 and therefore has nothing to do with any new treatments that came on the scene in 2021.
Do you know what
No,
worried
and
me?
this
Was they
annoys
attributed
me.
it to glyphosate, and I was outside weed killing at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, no.
Well, glyphosate is a known toxin, and it's a neurotoxin. So yeah, why wouldn't they? You know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Do you know what? This does annoy me because people keep seizing upon anything. I mean, like, for example, Robert De Niro's grandson has just sadly passed away. And I'm seeing accounts saying the usual thing. Oh, you know what did it? You know. No, you don't. You don't know what did it. You have absolutely no idea what did it. So stop saying it's been done by any certain new treatment when you've got no clue whatsoever.
He couldn't have been
Okay.
very old either, Ben. How old was
he
he?
wasn't
I think
old.
he's 24.
Yeah,
Right.
but
That's sad.
he could have been experimenting.
Yeah, well, the thing is, he's a 24-year-old man who probably has more money than sense because of the family he's from, right? You don't know what's done it.
I think.
And
No, sorry. Carry on.
I want to say that everybody that keeps sharing all this shite, and I say, but what I mean by that is everything, every death, every unexplained or unreported death is being caused by this one thing, is just discrediting the people that want to have a genuine conversation and investigation into things that might actually be happening.
Yeah, I know.
Ben,
because-
just reading from the Daily Mail, it says he was found dead in his chair next to a plate of white powdery substance.
Oh, elementary, dear Watson. So what you're trying to tell me is it was probably nothing to do with what all of these other people keep trying to
Did I
say.
not
it is.
just say he's probably experimenting? There you go.
Yeah,
You did.
Militant
So-
Mushroom says making bread.
Yeah. Bicarbonate of soda and super glue makes an incredibly strong bond.
Well, but like I said, any time that people say that this was caused by this certain treatment and that was caused by that certain treatment when they got absolutely no clue, all they're doing is shutting down any possible conversation about anything that might be happening.
Yeah.
They are doing
okay.
bad.
Right, let's move on. Speaking of things that might not actually be happening, is like Why are people saying the internet was down in France today?
I've no idea.
Because it didn't look down to me. And I was in France, wasn't I?
You VPN'd yourself into France,
Yeah.
and you used Down Detector to see whether or not anything was down over there.
And then of course I'm on Twitter, and I'm going, why is this trending? Why is this trending? And then I realised these things were trending because Twitter thought it was in France as well. So Twitter wasn't down either. So what was going on? And Down Detector wasn't showing. It was showing there had been a blip in Twitter last night, around about midnight or whatever, but there was no reason for people to be saying the internet was down in France, and I don't think it was.
Well, it's not just that as well. There was also this. I saw people going, emergency warning, full lockdown tomorrow in Paris, and then
hold on.
I've been speaking to.
See this buses thing you said the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that only applied from 9 o'clock onwards at night.
Yeah.
When they were stopping the buses and trams. So it's not as if they shut them down during the day. They're not running the buses after 9 o'clock at night.
So this is why Disney are closing their parks a little bit earlier, because they keep saying we're closing our parks a little bit earlier so our staff can get home.
Well, there you go, because the buses are stopping at 9.
But guess what? All of these people that screaming yesterday, big capital letters, full lockdown in France from tomorrow. Disneyland Paris was open today. So
there's no lockdown. I know that Macron has said.
No.
I know that Macron has said they're looking to remove the more obvious media from social media. The more obvious videos and things that are either too explicit or are fake. Because there is a lot of reused footage, isn't there, Ben?
It's footage from movies being used.
Put you big screen for them.
It's footage from a zoo being used. Right? It is.
Interestingly, chaps, if we look at the traffic cams, I've just checked this out on Weatherbug. All the traffic cams are offline apart from 2 on the M20.
What, in France?
In France.
The whole country?
Which suggests, there's something going on.
Well, that's interesting.
On multiple sites as well. If you go to there's quite a few traffic cam sites. None of them seem to be broadcasting. So that's interesting.
I'll tell you why that probably is, because when France have a protest, they like to go for the traffic cameras first. They do this quite a lot. And then if you drive along the French motorways, like I do quite often, you'll see some of the traffic cameras are like fortified bloody...
That's usually the speed cameras.
Well, yeah.
Actually, I take that back. I've just found another site called autoroutes.fr, and all the cameras are up on there. And I'm watching them from 9:16 p.m., which was only a few minutes ago. So they are up.
Yeah. Okay. So
it's some sites are down.
So there is conflicting information out and about everywhere. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. People will say that the BBC are 100% fake news. But actually, I think that the article they put out today proving a lot of the stuff was fake coming out of France was good. I think that was a good article. I think it's necessary because people get duped and then they share shite. And it's necessary to call people out on either side of a debate or either side of a divide if they are, perpetuating falsehoods.
Yeah.
And we try our best not to over here. And we hope that people that listen to us do the same.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at something that happened today because someone said, well, if the internet goes out here, what would you do? Or what would you do about it? And I'm thinking, well, the answer to everything is Bitcoin. So I says, well, the answer normally would be Bitcoin, but if the internet's out, there's no use. So someone then posts a thing that's saying Bitcoin works even when the internet is down, right? And a link to the what? Yeah, well, it does work because Bitcoin works in that it freezes everything at the point the internet goes down and nothing goes ahead until it comes back up. So yes, it works in that you won't lose anything, you won't gain anything, and you can't do any transactions. So that's if that's your definition of working, then good luck. Good luck with that.
That's why grow your own veggies, John.
Well, not well. I'd rather just go out and hunt animals. Somebody ran a deer down yesterday, and while that's a tragedy because I have done the same myself, they took it to the vet, but it had broken both its back legs, and the vet said there's no chance.
I saw this.
Can't do anything. And of course, it was put down, and of course, I had to say, barbecue later. Too soon.
Well, I guess waste not, want not,
Well,
right?
yeah,
At the end
waste
of the
not,
day,
want not. Why not? I mean, you know that it's died peacefully, so you might as well make use of it.
Yeah, but what about the chemical residue from that death juice they put in the...
Oh well, yeah, I suppose it's that. That's true.
I think once you've cremated it on a barbecue, it'd be fine.
Cook it on a hot enough heat, you'll be fine.
Right. So let's just finish off in France because there's something I want to think about, and there's something that's been bugging me about France. Maybe I should put myself green. Right. So so this has been bugging me a little bit about France because, as you know, over the last few months, Macron's been quite the statesman. You know, he's been sloping around. He's been over to China. He's been kowtowing to Russia, even to an extent. Pardon me. He's been standing up against Europe. He's been saying that we need peace. He's been telling Zelensky and that he should be looking for options. And I think maybe the last straw was when he asked to go to the BRICS summit. Now I know they turned him down. But is this whole thing a punishment for Macron just being slightly off the reservation?
Well, that is rabbit hole territory.
It is a bit, but it's kind of coincidental, isn't it? You know?
And before we do move on, as we are sticking with Macron and with France, I think it's time for a little song, don't you, John?
Yeah, go for it, mate. Go for it.
I've just lost my earphones. Give me a second.
Oh, God, he's lost his earphones.
They're here.
There we go.
Right.
Well, sit back, people.
Here we
Sit
go.
back. Relax.
Here we go.
Enjoy.
Sit back. It's time for a little song. Oh! Black Gary's Gaff of the Week! 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 Oh, Gary! What you done this time? It's Black Gary. And what is Black Gary's Gaff of the Week?
So Black Gary,
John.
Black Gary puts out a tweet just about, I think it was only hours before all these riots started. He puts out a tweet saying, Macron seems quite a sensible chap. Can we have him instead of Sous?
John, I'm still full screen.
You are. Black Gary's Gaff of the Week.
Yep, no. And on that note, Gary, you're a moron. I'm sorry, but Gary Lineker is a first-class idiot. Is how this man is any kind of pundit on anything.
No, I don't know.
I honestly don't know. And speaking of honestly don't know, I honestly don't know if you are watching on Twitter whilst you are not watching on YouTube. So if you are watching on Twitter right now, come over to youtube.com/Chasing Descent Official to continue the show. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Twitter. Gone. There you go. No more freebies for Twitter. No. All done.
Right.
All done. Right. Okay. Make sure you've liked the show. Make sure you've shared the show. let's continue on, John.
We just need cash. I know a lot of people want to send blankets or water. Just send your cash.
So
All right,
anyway,
George, calm down.
Birbal Singh, the strictest head
Catherine-
teacher in the world, apparently. Sorry, in the
Britain's
UK.
strictest.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's her headmistress of a school named Michaela, and she is in a bit of a row over the weekend, isn't she? With one Jess Phillips of the Labour Party. So it really has descended into. I'll give you the latest tweet Birbal Singh has written about this, and then I'll give you the context. The latest tweet is this. This was 2 hours ago. I'm not saying Jess Phillips is a racist. I'm saying she is a bully who suffers from unconscious racist bias.
Oh my
The bias and
God.
bullying are as bad as each other, but she isn't a racist in the typical sense. So basically, Catherine Birbal Singh shared on her Twitter, I believe, a slideshow of images of Tina Turner in commemoration of her after she has died, with like good times written on it or something like that. And she didn't make this slideshow; she just shared it.
Yeah.
And I believe in one of the pictures there was Ike Turner, and he was he was abusive towards Dina. And so Jess Phillips went in on Birbal Singh and basically said that because she shared this, that safeguarding needs to be looked at her school, and called her out to hundreds of thousands of followers and caused one hell of a pile-on. And it's just degenerated from there to the point that Birbal Singh sent a letter to Keir Starmer saying she's making some proper formal complaints, and it's just gone mad.
What's it got to do with Keir Starmer?
Well, he's the leader of the Labour Party, and Jess Phillips is a Labour MP, and she was doing it in her capacity as Jess Phillips MP.
Okay. So, what's it got to do with Keir Starmer? Surely she
I
should
think
just be.
Birbal Singh wants us.
I mean, shouldn't she just be? Oh, sorry. Who made the complaint? Birbal Singh.
Birbal Singh
Oh, right,
has
okay,
complained to Keir Starmer,
Sorry.
and I believe
Right. Yeah, because that's Jess Phillips' boss, right? Okay. But yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see what else Birbal Singh said though?
Go for it.
She said that when students get into trouble, they pull the race card on her.
Oh, jeez.
You know what? I mean, I don't know if this is politically correct or not, but you know what? Racism's not a word it's not a thing anymore because it's used for everything.
I mean, the concept is so diluted now.
Yeah, it's overused.
Yeah. It's the same as just essentially calling somebody a bigot. You don't know if they're actually a bigot. You don't know if they're actually a racist. You don't know if they're actually a sexist, because the concept is used time and time again for things that clearly don't fit the definition. Mm-hmm. And it's like the people that use these terms, like let's say racist, Nazi, for example, and all of these other ones, fascist, they've got no idea what these words mean. They don't know what these words mean. They just throw them about because they are horrible things that they hope stick to people who they can't argue against. That's basically it. And then 9 times out of 10, the people throwing these things about are the things that they proclaim the other person to be.
Did you see Birbal Singh retracted her statement as well? And
what one?
She wrote a letter to Starmer saying that Jess Phillips had said, "You ain't no Asian." And instead, she changed it to "You ain't no Aslan," which I assume is out of Narnia.
Who changed it?
So,
ain't no Aslan.
Birbal Singh changed it. Yeah. She said that was what she had said, which makes no sense whatsoever.
I believe what she actually was saying is she made a typo.
Oh, right.
That's what I think.
Oh, but actually, really, see, this annoys me, this whole Southeast Asia thing, because, or whatever they call it, because Indians aren't really Asians. You know, Not as you think.
Yeah, I understand what
You know what I mean? Ethnically, if you were classifying a group as Asians, it would be people from, you know, like what was Burma or something, you know, maybe towards Thailand, you know, Cambodia, that kind of thing. Anything
Chinese,
east
Japan.
of that, then you're getting into China and Thailand and Indonesia and all that. Yeah, you can classify all them as Asians. Yeah, you know, Japan.
Did
all
you
the way up
see-
to Japan? But
Also, John, sorry to interrupt. I've just spotted another thing about Burblesing with the cat children. Have you heard about that?
For cat children.
well, the ones identified as cats, we dealt with that.
Yes, we did. But did we mention Burblesing then?
I don't think we mentioned her by name, no.
Because she claimed that children identifying as cats wear ears and tails in class. And she started this while she was actually speaking at a conference, and she led with that.
And do they have
future
litter
of-
boxes? Or did she not mention
Well, it doesn't
that?
mention that. She just said it's about the headbands they wear. So if
Well,
your
look, you've got
daughter or son goes in a headband, then, you know.
Look, I said it. Remember a couple of weeks back where I identified for the duration of the show as a mouse, right? John was very jealous.
It didn't go down well. They didn't like that.
No, but the point is, I made a point there that if you're going to identify as a cat, we'll get you a little box. We'll go all in.
Yeah, but-
you know, we're very supportive.
What's the world? Pardon me. What are people coming to? What are they coming
but these
to?
are children.
Why is everybody?
You know-
Yeah, but no, but they're not children. That's the problem. These specific individuals are children, but why are adults doing it as well? I mean, look at that. Look at that guy, that major in the army that's sitting there. Why are these people doing this?
Because they want attention.
Yeah,
They want to be special.
yeah.
They want people to look at them. They
and
want their
that's-
15 minutes.
This is the infantilization of the population. Everybody think they can be whatever they can be, and they can't unless you join Veridora, and then you can.
Whatever you want.
But
You want to identify as a bloody cat in Veradora, you go right ahead. As long as you're paying your citizenship fee,
that's it.
right? You go right ahead.
But this is even worse than idiocracy because the people are becoming less than idiots. It's this.
Well, the thing is,
This is the slide. This is the long, slow slide into mediocrity, right? This is what's happening because it's like I said. It's like you know, if you think about a class of kids in school, right? They're all mixed ability, and what happens is the lessons invariably end up going at the speed of the slowest class member. And when I say slowest, I just mean the one that takes the longest to pick things up. Because you can't run it. You can't run at the speed of the people that are picking things up quickly, because then you know you're on a bell
everyone
curve.
gets left behind.
So everybody else gets left behind. So is there a case for merit-based teaching again? Because it's like you're and we're not been doing this in work either. I mean, the American Supreme Court just came out against affirmative action. So things should be things should be merit based. If you have the capability of doing it, you get the job. If you don't have the capability of doing it, it doesn't matter if you're purple and your name's Barney. You're not getting the job. You know.
Well, yeah.
And
No,
I
agree.
think we need to be back there. We need to be back there, and we need to go back to, you know, streaming. You need to go back to streaming, and I don't mean streaming like we're doing now. I mean, you know. You because if you put really bright, intelligent, you know, genius level kids and you continually drag them down, they get bored, they lose interest, and you have wasted their education.
And they
You have
become my
wasted it.
daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they act out because they're bored.
Yeah, you become me. I spent a whole year not going to school. Now, how many people do you know can spend a whole year not going to school and not be caught?
Unless it was during the war, John.
Yeah, unless it was during the war. But this wasn't during the war, mate. So I spent a whole year not going to school and I still came out with 6 hires.
But do you know what? I'm gonna be very careful how I speak here, but I want to say something. Because I don't give two shiny shites how people want to identify themselves. Adults, that is, right? I don't care if adults want to dress up as cats, if they want to dress up as dogs,
Well,
I don't care.
Well, yes and no, right? And this goes back to setting an example for your children and for younger people. So yes, I see what you're saying, but I think they should limit it to the privacy of their own home.
Okay, if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. But the point I'm making here is,
Did you see? Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt. Did you see the woman walking down the street dressed as a horse?
What, like a pantomime horse?
No, she was wearing black skin tight, like a gimp suit, huge shoes, and a horse mask. And it's like, that's not right. And how do you explain that? Where
did you see this, John?
On Twitter. It was a video on Twitter.
I mean, there was a way to explain it beforehand. I'm not sure I'd be allowed to say it on here, despite the fact it's probably correct.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a way. There was a way to explain it.
And one of the words is illness.
But okay, so my line, and once again, I'm going to have to be very careful with this, is when I am told that I have to believe things that are absolutely impossible and absolutely untrue. For example, I could not breastfeed my child.
I don't know. I've seen your breasts. They're quite impressive.
They're beautiful, aren't they? They are beautiful.
Right.
But
Ben, you know what, mate? Let's not. No pointing down that route. Route. You're going too deep. And when the Bank of England says that, when the Bank of England says that anyone can be pregnant, then you've lost. You've lost it. There's no point in arguing it, right? You know what? The people want to do that. Do what they like in the privacy of their own home. But
did you see the reason why they've done that, John?
Yeah, because they're clowns.
Well, they've built some new toilets, haven't they? They've built some gender-neutral toilets in one of their floors, and that's they're trying to raise awareness.
It doesn't matter. Look, Ally McBeal had gender-neutral toilets. When was that? That was the 80s, was it not? Or the 90s? It wasn't even their century.
In London. Jesus Christ, I go to Fabric nightclub in London when I was a teenager. There was all gender-neutral toilets.
Yeah. Well, do you remember the urinals in the street in London? They stopped those, didn't they?
Was that like a copying the French thing?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, right. So the thing is, gender-neutral toilets are not new, right? They've been around forever. I mean, I remember going camping in France in the 80s, and I went into the shower block to have a shower, and there was a woman there, and I thought, I've gone on the wrong side. So I went out and went in the other side, and there was two women there, and I thought, okay. It doesn't matter, right? So, but gender neutrality in toilets is not a new thing, and people are making out that this is horrendous, and I don't understand it.
Do you know what? If I'm in full support of the free option. So if women want their own toilets, women should have their own toilets. If men want their own toilets, men should have their own toilets. And if there can be a gender neutral option where anyone can go in, I don't see an issue.
Well, that's usually a disabled toilet, isn't it? Until they stopped letting people use the disabled toilets, haven't they? By putting keys and things on them now.
I've got a radar key.
Yeah. So
do you know?
I mean,
do you know what else they've said as well?
What's that?
People of any gender can be pregnant, which we know about, but they've also offered to pay to help staff pay for gender reassignment treatment using private medical insurance.
Do you know what? Good for them.
But it's odd that a bank should choose to do this, isn't it?
Well, if that's their decision, that's their business. They can do what they want.
Yeah.
They're a private institution. They can do what they damn well please.
But this is the Bank of England, though, Ben. It's a fairly major establishment that have chosen to do
Still a private institution, Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a
You
government
know-
institution. It's not public. It's privately owned. And a lot of people don't
Private
realise that.
institution.
Don't realise that.
No, private institution. They
Same
can
as
do as
the
they
Federal
please,
Reserve
and-
in America, private bank. Nothing to do
And at
with
the end of the day,
nothing
as long
to
as
do
they are
with the government.
leaving, as long as they are leaving the kids out of it, and they are, and the people doing these things to themselves are consenting adults, you know, I'm not going to step in. It's like I don't understand homophobia because I don't understand why it's anybody's business what two consenting adults or more, if that's your kind of thing, do in the privacy of their own bedroom. I don't understand how that's anybody else's business but the people in that bedroom, to be honest. But, you know, I just think that consenting adults can do what they damn well please, and if they end up destroying their lives
And
or if they end up regretting it, that's their consequence.
Within the bounds of decency, yeah.
That's just me, anyway.
Anyway, right. Anyway, enough
let's
of this
move on.
nonsense. So, apparently Sweden's been at it again. They've been burning Korans. So, the Swedish ambassador has been summoned to the royal court in Saudi. And then I think the Saudis have started burning Swedish flags. So it seems a bit tit for tat, doesn't it?
It does. I think they're even at that point.
Yeah.
Surely. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't see an issue with somebody burning their own property. If they own the book that they're burning and it's their property, I don't care what's in it. It's your property. You can do what you want with it.
Well,
if
in the
people are
UK,
upset-
that's the case, yeah. And you know, you can, I mean, see that flag draped over the wall behind me, that red, white, and blue one? I can burn that without any fear of
You
reprisal.
should be able to.
No, I can, because there's no law against burning the flag. Not in the UK.
There used to be a law against burning the Quran here in the UK.
No, there
even
isn't.
if it's your own.
There isn't.
Well, one would hope not, but
No, there isn't. There isn't a law against burning books, not to my knowledge. So if they're going to do you for anything, then they're going to trump up a charge, aren't they?
Well, of course they are, and they will.
Yeah, I know.
Of course
they
they
will. I know they will. I know they will. But yeah, so that's the situation. And I think in Sweden there is definitely no law against burning books.
Well, good. And at the end of the day, there shouldn't be. I mean, I don't agree with book burning. I don't agree with censorship. I don't agree with anything like that. But if people wish to do things with their own property, who are we to say that they can't? And who is the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to say that they can't? At the end of the day, Harold says, "What about the pride flag?" Well, as long as it's your flag, you should be able to do with it as you please.
Yeah, of course you can.
I mean, the fact that the Met Police made a statement saying they were investigating Lawrence Fox for burning his own bunting, and I'm not a huge Lawrence Fox fan.
No, neither am I, but he didn't do anything wrong.
It was his own property. He burnt his own bunting. Right? How can the police be investigating somebody burning their own bloody bunting? How far have we fallen? What is going on? Adam,
well,
bring us back to sanity, would you?
Well, I'm just looking at the protest. There was a protest, the London Quran defence protest outside Sweden's embassy. There was a speech given out there. How dare you try to lecture a group of minorities on freedom of speech? You burn books just as a certain group in Germany did. So, you know, there's certain elements to, burning a book that can be linked to that. But
I have a huge issue with the idea.
It is tenuous, yeah.
I'm sorry, I have a huge issue with the idea of group rights. I don't think group rights should exist. Individual rights.
Several groups did step in defence of the group who felt they were being persecuted in Sweden, and they were from other religions.
Right.
So it's interesting to see.
But how is one man burning his own book persecuting anybody?
Exactly.
How?
Yep. And if your religion cannot take criticism, then it's not worth anything, is it?
But that religion can't take criticism.
No.
And that's been borne
like
out
Andrew,
time and time and time again.
You know, Citizen of the Week, Andrew Lomax, he makes a good point here in the chat. He says group rights is just veiled apartheid. Of course it is. Yeah. Of course it is. When you start partitioning people and giving them special rights or special protections because of their group status, and do you know what? Out of the three of us here, I actually enjoy some of those because I'm the disabled one, right?
But look at what happens. And you've just had a whole month of group rights.
Well, yeah. Yeah, you did.
Or as they call it, the community. But let's face it, these people aren't a community. They're not a community. They're not all for the same thing. In fact,
nope.
Most of them would cross the street to avoid the other, you know? So you're just lumping a bunch of people that have disparate views into a collective container and saying, you know, we support you. What a load of virtual signaling crap, really.
Yeah, and you know what? People are entitled to.
Yeah, they do what they like.
Pride.
They do what they like, but don't ram it down my throat.
Celebrations will go on. In fact, I am attending one.
I was in. Pride's finished. But anyway,
July 29th is our Pride, and I'm attending.
So anyway, I was in Poundland.
What are you?
Yesterday.
Right.
No, Saturday. I was in Poundland. And there was a woman in front of me buying some stuff, and the girl said, the girl in the cashier says, do you want a bag? And she goes, yes, please. And then she goes, and I don't want that. Because the girl picked up a Pride bag, and she goes, I don't want that shite. I want a regular bag. She says, a month of that getting rammed down our throats is more than enough. Everybody else only gets a day. And then she turns to me and goes, what do you think? I goes, I'm 100% behind you.
Beats and Tate says, I'd like to see Ben in Speaker's Corner. I've been to Speaker's Corner loads of times.
Have you spoken?
It's quite cool. No, I've not stood on the...
Well, that's what he means, you donkey. He doesn't mean he'd like to see you there. He means he'd like to see you speaking.
Oh, I will, one day, if I ever return to London, I will go to Speaker's Corner and I will speak.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
And I say if I ever return to London because I don't like it there.
Right. Let's crack on. Sue Gray, undeclared contact. You that's your subject, Ben.
Yeah, so Sue Gray is in trouble, isn't she? She's in trouble because obviously while she was leading the Partygate investigations, she was having covert, undeclared contact with Keith because she was joining the Labour Party. Now, I would say, in my opinion, that makes the entire Sue Gray report void.
Well, we knew that at the time, though, Ben, didn't we?
It's
we
massive,
knew that.
Massive conflict of interest, surely.
Oh, yeah. It's a massive conflict of interest. And, you know, at the same time, obviously, Keith and co get let off. They didn't get in trouble for their clear breach of the so-called rules. They were caught on film, bloody doing it. No, we didn't. No, that was just me at the end of the day, letting a little bit of steam off. It's me, Keith. Yeah. No, it was just as bad as any of the parties that went on. And yet the person doing all of the investigation just happened to join Keith's team. It's one whole massive conflict of interest. And whilst I don't agree, what I believe is that everybody that was ever fined under that legislation, there should be an amnesty. They should all be refunded. And an apology needs to be made because that legislation should never have existed. Those fines should never have been given out. And despite what Matt Hancock is lying about at the inquiry, and he is lying, I might add, no, those measures don't do anything to mitigate respiratory viruses. They don't.
Do you know, I had to go on a parking awareness course because of that. Because of when the lockdown was on, I went into Derbyshire on a family day out, and I parked somewhere I shouldn't have parked on a verge on an A road, and they, because it was during COVID, they came along and ticketed my vehicle, and they would never have done that normally. So I can probably claim that back, couldn't I, if there was an amnesty? Yeah.
I think
Was there any yellow lines?
There was no yellow lines. There was a single white line, and I was completely off the road. I was on a verge, along with hundreds of other people.
So where's the offence?
Well, there,
in
there
their
isn't.
minds.
Yeah, I would just have not paid that.
No, I wouldn't have paid that. Personally speaking, I'd have said shove your fine.
I would
up
have
your
said-
rectum.
Where's the restriction?
Yeah. Yeah, because they do need to show you where the.
Were you on a
restriction is.
pavement?
I was on a yes, I was.
Right, okay,
But then you
there's
say
the
hundreds
problem.
of others were as well.
You'd actually,
Yeah.
you'd have been better just parking on the road.
Yes.
Never park on the pavement. As soon as you park on the pavement, you're liable to get a parking fine.
Vaughan makes a good point in the chat here. He says Adam likes parking on verges with hundreds of
Yeah,
strangers.
so he wasn't parked on a verge. He was parked on a pavement.
Well,
That-
it was an
that's
entrance way outside
that-
somebody's house.
That doesn't
so-
matter. If it's a pavement, it's a substantial difference from a verge. You're either on a verge or you're on a pavement. Which one was it?
I think I was over a bit of both. I think it was
Right, so
green
you were on the
verge, and then
pavement.
there was a bit of pavement there as well.
So you were on the pavement. You can't. If you're on the
Yeah,
pavement, you
I
can't
was.
get away with it.
Yeah, I hold my hands.
All those people that are parked on verge should have got away with it.
Well, he just admitted on live video that he was at fault. So
And I did go on the course. I had to sit there and for 4 hours on a course.
4 hours on how to
4
park.
hours on a video call.
On how to park.
Well, it was a road driver awareness course,
And what-
like one of these 30-mile-an-hour.
Did that
Yeah.
mean you didn't get the fine?
Yes.
And how much did
Well,
that?
no, he got a fine,
hold
but
on.
he didn't get the
Hold on a minute. How much was the fine?
The fine is the course. You pay 95 quid for the course.
No.
Seems like a bit of a
Hold on.
scam.
How much would the fine have been for parking?
Well, there wasn't a fine. It was just all they did was offer you a course.
Well, don't go on the course.
There was. I'm sure there wasn't a fine.
There's no points, right? You can't get points for parking.
Well, they were trying to give people points for parking. And I think
How?
it was a choice of either.
Well,
I
hold
think
on.
it
That
was
wasn't parking
six
then.
points, I think.
No, that's not parking. They weren't doing you for parking. You don't get points
Well-
for parking. Parking's decriminalised.
It was a dangerous position to park. they
Right,
said.
now you were talking a completely different charge. So the truth is being inched out of you.
story is
Bit
evolving
by
as it's
bit,
going.
isn't it? So you were parked in a dangerous position. So you were causing an obstruction, which is contrary to the construction and use regulations and nothing to do with parking, sir.
But there was hundreds of other people there, John. You know, it was a busy
Hey,
bank holiday in Derbyshire.
Look,
So
what?
the
Look,
council
mate.
made a lot of money that day.
You know
did,
what, mate?
they did.
If you want to be a sheep, that's entirely up to you. But you should be making your own mind up. Just because someone else has done it doesn't mean it's right.
Are you a lemming? Would you follow them off the cliff?
Did you wear a? Did you
I
wear a?
just-
Did you wear a thingy round your? Did you wear one of them?
But you know what, the worst thing was when I came back to the vehicle, I could see the police sitting there in the lay-by.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, waiting.
Sitting there sniggering, going,
yeah, they were.
look at that.
Right. Okay. Free course. Yeah. You can do this course and get away with it. Yeah. A course cost me 95 quid to sit and listen to some idiot talk for 4 hours. Yeah.
I once went on a speed awareness course, and that was boring as hell. I just went for the free coffee.
I've been on 2 of them, Ben. And
I've been on
this
what?
this course as well. So
How
3.
did you manage to get on 2? I thought you weren't supposed to be able to do 2 speed awareness courses.
Oh yeah, as
You're
long
not
as it's been
supposed to be
4
able
years
to.
since as long as it's been 4 years since your first one, you can do it again.
It hadn't been 4 years.
You got lucky.
They got it completely wrong during COVID, and I got done once for parking dangerously, and then once for speeding by a Sainsbury's in Nottingham.
You don't live in Nottingham anymore.
No, exactly. It's out
you
of
go.
the jurisdiction now, isn't it?
Yep, there you go. Anyway, let's move on. John, what else you got for us?
Twitter rate limits. Who wants to take this one?
People are, you can take it. You can take point, but people are pissed, aren't they?
Oh God! Right. So I thought, okay, So Muskie Boy puts out a tweet saying we've temporarily imposed rate limits on people for reading tweets. So you can read 600 tweets if you're unverified, 6,000 tweets if you're verified, and 300 tweets if you're just newly unverified, right?
I believe they're now upped it to 808,000.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but never mind. You carry on.
No, I'm just
No, carry on.
making sure No, you carry on.
Right, so Muskie Boy puts this out, and I'm thinking, okay, right, and then people are going off their nut, and it's like everything on Twitter. The information's on Twitter, yet nobody seems to realise that they can read Twitter and get the information that they keep asking people. Can you see my tweet? Can you see my tweet? Can you see my tweet? Nobody can see my tweets. Why do people do this? Why are they so retarded? But anyway, so Muskie Boy does this. People have a meltdown, and I'm thinking, and I just said, "What's the big deal?" And Musk said it was to avoid scraping and system manipulation, and I'm going, oh, what does it matter if people scrape it or not? And Ollie sends me a link. You know Ollie.
Uh-huh.
So Ollie sends me a link to this guy, was it Mark Bentz or something? Anyway, he's a cyber specialist or something, and he went, did you watch it? Did you watch the thing?
I did.
No. Did you? So, and that explains why this scraping is a bad thing, because what they're doing is they're getting all the data that they can, and they're using it not for selling you stuff. They're using it to model your behaviours and see if you're going to be worth basically locking up.
Yeah, social credit.
Yeah, that's what it is. And DARPA's involved.
Machine.
Yeah, DARPA's involved. You know, government censorship is involved. The feds are involved. The whole thing is a massive, massive attack on freedom of speech. So strangely enough, by rate limiting you, Elon Musk is actually trying to protect freedom of speech. It just so happens,
which is why he shut down.
Yeah,
he shut down the API, didn't he?
Yeah. So if you happen to have a blue tick, you really didn't notice any difference, to be fair.
No.
I mean, so far I've noticed no difference whatsoever. I haven't hit.
Neither have I, and I'm not blue ticked.
Yeah, but some people are. Some people are mental, though. Some people just.
So even if Elon Musk doesn't realise he has done this, he has inadvertently done this.
Well, no, I think he did it. I think he did it deliberately, because he mentioned that in his tweet. He said to avoid scraping and to stop system manipulation. And that's what all this is about. Scraping all that data to manipulate the systems.
So the video came from Mike Benz at Mike Benz Cyber, it's Benz with a Z, Benz, and it's worth watching. As John said, John sent it to me, and I've watched it a couple of times now, and he makes some very, very good points.
Yeah.
There was another side to that, though, wasn't there? And people were saying that because he has limited our rate, we're not going to see the news. We're restricted from seeing that information.
No, we're not. No, we're not. How are we?
Well, just if you're not blue ticked, then you're going to see 800.
Well, you said it's not affected you, so it's not.
No, it hasn't affected me.
So how does it stop you seeing the news? It hasn't.
It hasn't. But some people did say that might be the issue why he's done it, to stop seeing the news and to stop us communicating.
It's nothing to do with France. Nothing to do with France.
Nothing to do with France. I mean, once again, France. I know we've already sort of covered it earlier in the show, but so a lot of the stuff you're seeing shared about France right now is sensationalist bullshit. Let me just say it as it is. A lot of the stuff you are seeing shared is just absolute bollocks. You need to, as with everything, you need to sift through, look at multiple sources and sift out what is the truth versus what is BS. When people are putting, oh my God, warning, big capital letters, France in full lockdown today, and, Disneyland Paris is operating as normal, you know who the bullshit eyes are. It's the dumb Lucas of the world.
Yeah.
Right?
Did you see the one with the cars coming off the top of the building?
Yeah, that's not real.
I know, Gary Lineker had actually pointed that out as not being real.
It's not real. Okay? It's not real. Just like the one with the people driving along in the police van holding the French flag. That is from a movie, and someone simply regraded the colour and put it out. It's not
The one with
real.
the cars was the Fast and Furious, wasn't it? Fast X, yep.
Yeah. People need to stop believing everything they see on social media. And I say it a million times, that includes what we're saying. Make sure that what we are saying is the truth. Right?
Yeah,
because
do your
we
own
could be
research.
wrong.
Do your own research. Do it. Do it now. No, don't do it now.
I mean-
do it after the show.
Okay. I'll tell you what, viewers.
No, viewers.
Pay
Don't.
for my return Eurotunnel and a couple nights hotel, and I'll go stream in Paris this week. I'll go stream in Paris this week, and I'll show you exactly what's going on. There you go.
Okay, right.
I'll do it live.
Boil in the bag.
There's my offer.
Boil in the bag.
Do you want to be boiled in the bag, John?
It's the old put the dead body in a barrel full of soap trick, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll put it in the bathtub
Yeah.
and
And dip
Yeah.
in soap powder. Yeah. It's an alkali solution. They make it nice and warm. They turn you into soup. They flush you what's left of the soup down the
Down the
toilet,
drain.
basically down the toilet, and grind up your bones and give you them. So they
and if
target
that
it
sounds
as
horrific,
what do they target as? Water cremation.
if that sounds horrific, that is water cremation and will be available by cooperative funerals in the northeast of England very, very soon.
Northeast
Do you want me to
England.
describe the process?
Go on then.
Yeah, go on.
Sky have put an article out about it. They said it involves placing a person's body in a sealable biodegradable pouch, which is then put in a large steel water chamber. The water is heated up to 160 degrees C, but the pressure from the chamber stops it from boiling. At a ratio of 5% chemical to 95% water, a substance used to make soap called potassium or sodium hydroxide is added. This causes the natural tissues and fats to dissolve, mimicking the process of natural decomposition when someone is buried, which takes up to 12 years. Water cremation takes between 4 and 14 hours.
Lovely.
Oh, 4 and 14 hours. Oh, there you
Yeah.
So yeah. So, and then yes, it has been approved in the United Kingdom that the waste, as in your skin and organs, will be just tipped into the drainage system. And that's the end of you.
Bye.
I think Thames Water's got enough problems.
Well, like I said, it's actually beginning in the northeast. It's beginning in the northeast. Interestingly, and cooperative funeral care are going to begin to offer this service as cheaper than cremation.
Bitter and twisted. That's me, all right.
Right.
That's me.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Cheaper than cremation.
That is
But not faster.
cheaper. Yeah, about half the. Well, definitely not faster. No, I think it's going to come in at about half the price of a cremation.
It's all about space, though, isn't it? Because they're saying
yeah, of
even
course.
in cemeteries, we've not got the space anymore now, so and they don't generate profit as much as they used to.
And it's
Look,
ecologically
we're not
sound,
all-
isn't it? It's ecologically sound because you're not releasing all that carbon into the atmosphere.
I was going to say, we're not all Nicolas Cage. We can't buy ourselves a pyramid to be buried in.
What a pyramid.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage has got a little pyramid that he's going to be put in when he dies
Oh, no.
in a cemetery.
Why?
Because he's a nutter. He's Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, he is. Okay,
Yeah,
right.
he is.
Okay, right.
Has he-
Let's move on. Hunt the Chancellor. Hunt the Chancellor has warned the banks re-blacklisting people for their political views. I.e., don't do it.
Are they going to listen?
Well, they should, really.
But will they?
Well, see, this is... I don't like this. I don't like banks, period, right? I think they're evil institutions because
Well, I agree with you.
they are taking money off you in interest by lending you money they don't actually have. And people don't seem to understand. I mean, some people seem to grasp the concept of fractional reserve banking, but seem to think that it's dependent on them getting money back from you or getting money in from investors and, you know, from savers. It's not. The central bank prints, say, £10,000. It then gives it. Say there's nine banks out there, right? You know, like Barclays, NatWest, whatever. So it gives £1,000 to each of these banks.
Yeah.
So these banks can then increase that by 9 times. So they can then lend £9,000 on that strength of that 1,000. So they then can charge money on all the money that they've lent that they haven't really lent because they never had it in the first place because that money's just made up. So they're getting money for money they don't have that they haven't lent you.
Yeah.
This is what pisses me off.
Well, exactly. You're exactly right. Just going back to our previous conversation, I'm going to attempt to share my screen with you for just a second. You won't need to change the screen size.
Okay.
Right? I'm just going to attempt to share this with you. Tell me if you can see this.
And this follows on nicely from pyramids because it's a pyramid scheme, indeed.
Indeed it is.
Is that Nicolas
And there
Cage?
it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is Nicolas Cage's pyramid.
And what
in
does it say on
Louisiana.
it?
It
It
says
says,
Omnia ab uno.
what does that mean?
He just needs a little all-seeing eye on the top of it, doesn't he?
Yeah. So that is Nicolas Cage's pyramid, ready to receive him when he passes away. He had to buy 2 plots in order to have it constructed. There you go.
Well, there you go. There you go. Right, okay. So we've done Boy on the Bag, we've done Hunt. Do you want to speak about Farage and Burley?
Farage and Burley?
Well, Kay Burley, right?
Oh, yeah, Kay Burley basically encouraging the banks to
Kay Burley, being a good citizen of Stalin's Russia, or Soviet Union as it was, seems to have said, well, if 9 banks will refuse to deal with you, maybe then you should think there's something wrong with you.
Or maybe it's simply that they don't like his political opinions because if they were to do business with him publicly, it would affect their ESG score. Oh,
Did you see the banks that Nigel Farage was trying to deposit money into?
Were they all private banks?
No.
They were wealth management funds, most of them, which, you know, if I went along to try and deposit money into, they'd turn me down as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but
Was Cater Allen one of
the
them?
multi-millionaire.
well, he's $4 million, isn't he? $4 million, apparently.
Yeah, remember, he is a banker. That's where he comes from. He comes from that.
Was Cater Allen one of them?
That's just a business bank. Come on.
Oh, okay.
But no, Nigel Farage should be able to bank wherever he sees fit, because at the end of the day, the banks, it must be politically motivated, because if he's got millions of pounds to deposit, they're going to make money off that. They're going to make money off of that, so they'd be stupid not to. So
do you
it
really
must
think-
be politically motivated.
Do you really think Nigel's got that much money,
No,
though? I mean,
no,
he's doing
no.
that
No,
service
actually.
where he reads birthday greetings, wasn't he?
You know what, Ben? You've got it backwards, mate, and you should know that. You should know that. You don't make money off the rich people. You make money off the poor people.
Yes.
No, you
Yes,
do.
but also-
You don't make money off the rich people. You know that. You know it's the poor people that fund everything.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, but if your money is sitting in these institutions, they're using it to
Well,
their
of course
advantage.
they're using it, but they're not making.
That's what I mean by
They're
that
not
point.
making a fortune off him. They're making a fortune off the people that are paying interest, exorbitant rates on money that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Do you know what's really funny as well about Coots, the bank that he approached first of all that turned him down? Their tagline on their website says "Wealth management for people doing things their own way," and that's not an endorsement of Coots.
Yeah.
And Cooch just owned by NatWest anyway.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, these private banks are all. They're, I mean, like.
But why didn't he go to NatWest?
I used to bank with Cater Allen, but they're owned by Santander now, I think.
They are, yeah.
Anyway, never mind that nonsense. So let's move on, shall we?
Let's.
Right, so that's what's great.
I actually, before we do move on, I actually want to just shout out our regular viewer who's not, I don't think is with us tonight, Trudy, because she was today in Birmingham carrying what is called the Baton of Hope. It's a countrywide scheme for suicide awareness, and she was chosen as a baton bearer to walk with the baton in honor of her son Benjamin, who sadly took his own life. So I just want to congratulate Trudy and say I'm looking at pictures right now of her doing it. I hope it was a beautiful day, and I hope you had a great time. And in the circumstances, I know, but yeah, well done.
So American mercenaries, ex-military mercenaries that went to fight in Ukraine for money, right, have come back and says, I'm never going back there again. It's so dangerous. Right? Okay. And of course, that's prompted my tweet, which was, I'll say it, I've said it before, I've said it on this show before, and I'll say it again at some point, no doubt. America has never fought a quality opponent since 1945, and boy, oh boy, did I manage to get on the right tweet for traction today.
Of course you did, yeah.
Yes, because it's gone nuts, right? So,
yeah,
all these, and people, again, can't read, because they're all going, well, they're then saying that, what about Korea? What about Vietnam? What about Iraq, when we wiped out the fourth largest army in the world, you know? And it's like, you never read the tweet, because I said America has never fought a quality opponent since 1945. And then the Americans are even better, because they're now claiming that the Viet Cong were a quality opponent, right?
No,
So-
they weren't. No.
So these rice farmers with AK-47s that could dig tunnels because they were small and lithe and skinny and put traps up for the Americans were a quality opponent. Guerrilla warfare.
I disagree.
Right?
I disagree.
They weren't a quality opponent. And then people went on about, we fought China and the Vietnamese beat France and all that. Yeah. So, and then of course they're going to, Vietnam had aircraft that took out a whole squadron of US troops and things. What makes you say they're not a quality opponent? And I said, have you actually read my tweet? Where does it ever say that America were also a quality opponent?
Well, exactly.
Because America's never been tested since 1945.
Well, this is it, and they spend a lot of money on military.
Yeah.
And they've got big toys. They've got a lot of big toys.
But they have.
But do they have strategy? Do they have the ability to use those toys effectively?
And you know what else? Right. You know what else they have? They have a flawed mentality when it comes to war. Okay. Because they have this never leave a man behind thing.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Now, you saw this. Do you ever see the movie Black Hawk Down?
Yeah.
And they messed everything up because one guy fell out of a helicopter. Right? And because of that, they messed absolutely everything up. Right? And they have this mental thing. Yeah. They will kill people trying to rescue. They will kill more people trying to rescue one than would have died if they just walked away.
Well, exactly.
They won't do that. They won't walk away. And you saw this in that Ukrainian minefield disaster the other day, Adam. Remember?
Oh my God, yeah.
They were doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You know? And then, of course, these American mercenaries are saying, you know, that this is the worst war they've ever been in because, one, there's nowhere to hide because the Russian stuff was so precise it was dropping around them. Every time they went out on patrol, they thought they were going to die. There was never any chance of getting evac'd, so there was no helicopters coming to pick you up if you were injured or anything like that. The best you were going to get was like a jeep or a troop carrier back to the base. So they had no idea what war's about. That's the problem. They don't have any idea of what real war's about. And that's why they still have this bravado and this, we'll kick their butt. Yeah, that's fine if you can sit at 35,000 feet and drop bombs on people. But when the team you're playing against has got the same tools, if not better, because, that S-400 thing, that anti-aircraft missile, well, it's designed to take out B-2s at long range. And apparently it can, So America's never been tested. And I don't think they really want to be tested, but that's the way that Biden seems to be pushing it.
Unfortunately, I think you're right. I really do. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, please feel free to leave a like on the show and click that share button. We really want you to share this out because we want people to come and listen to our conversation.
Yeah, do you know what else American military's done? Did you know this, Adam?
No, go for it.
They've downgraded the UK military to the B team. They've said that the UK military is no longer A class. It's no longer a top-notch fighting institution because it doesn't have enough men and it doesn't have enough training and it doesn't have enough ability.
Once again, how do we know for sure? Because are we tested? I don't think so.
Well, we haven't really been tested on much, no. But
no, we haven't.
The UK have probably done more. And to be fair, and I'm not just banging the drum for the UK, but the UK Special Forces have probably done more covert stuff than the Yanks have even thought about. But they just don't talk about it.
You could well be right.
They just don't talk about it. That's the difference.
You could well be right. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Do you have anything lighter for us, John?
Yeah, why not?
Lighten it up a bit.
So, Michael Imperoli has decided that he's going to forbid bigots and homophobes from watching any of his material. His material being he was an actor in The Sopranos.
Right.
Never heard of him. Don't know who he is.
No.
But he seems to think it's shocking that people should be homophobic and be able to watch his material. Because he dislikes bigots and homophobes. Because he doesn't know. It's like me saying, you are a lefty. You cannot watch this show. How would you know? And you know what? If you are a lefty...
I'd have to quit.
If you are a lefty, feel free to watch the show. I have no problem with it because...
Come.
I can't consider myself on either side of any kind of government equation.
I can't anymore. I used to be a lefty. Now I just sit somewhere like I'm a filthy fence sitter. Let's face it.
I'm not even I'm not a fence sitter because I abhor government. Yeah, I'm firmly on the side that big government is not conducive to a happy life.
We're all with you there, John.
Yep, absolutely. But yeah, how are you supposed to know? What has he got, like some kind of like radar gun that he just scans, he fires it at people and it just goes homophobe? What? How are you meant to know?
It's exactly what the next thing is. It's pure overt virtue signaling for the sake of being a virtue signal. So Army veteran.
I think I know where you're going.
Army veteran in Texas says, I'm a vet, puts his shotgun down on a bit of wood and hits it with a sledgehammer. May I say badly 2 or 3 times because he's fed up with guns. And I'm thinking, what an idiot. I mean, one, he's in Texas, so he's on the border with Mexico, where people are streaming across it on a daily basis. Two,
Yeah.
people are stealing things and invading ranches and things all over the place in Texas. Three, some of the cities like Austin are becoming open-air feces camps, right? Because they're so lefty. I mean, Austin is the worst Texas city, I would assume, because it is basically it's the only one that's fully left.
And 4, he doesn't show you the 25 guns he has out back.
Exactly. So it's pure, overt virtue signal.
Well, exactly, and and even if that was his one and only gun, and he smashed it up, and he didn't like the guns, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because what he doesn't like does not apply to other people.
Exactly.
And this is once again, what do you want? What do you want, sir? Do you want big government to step in and start making decisions
Nanny state.
and telling you what you can and can't do? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Because the second you allow big government to start controlling every aspect of your life, they take and take and take and take. You give an inch, they take a mile. That's what big government do. So at what point does it stop? At what point does big government not control what you can and can't do, what you can and can't say?
Well, that point comes when the people rise up, and that I got into one this morning with someone, but the people in this country don't have the gumption to rise up. They really don't. I don't think they do. Not in the quantity.
Here in the United
required.
Kingdom, people are too comfortable.
Yeah.
People are too comfortable here in the United Kingdom, right? Because big daddy government does provide, and that's the thing. You know, it's like a double-edged sword, really, isn't it? Because big daddy government does provide, but also big bad daddy government, on the other hand, is taking away. And people don't realise just how much big daddy government is taking away.
Yeah.
They are taking your rights one at a time. I keep using the phrase, it's death by 1,000 cuts.
Yep.
And you're going to wake up one day, and this is, a bit out there, but you're going to wake up one day with a fucking ankle monitor on.
Well, Tony's just summed it up fantastically in the chat. A government that exercises its power through the threat of force must be tempered by a well-armed citizenry. Otherwise, invariably, total domination and complete subjugation will be the end result. And you're 100% correct. And that's why Americans
Are we heading in that direction?
Oh, we're done. We are done. We don't have the capability of fighting back.
No, well, we don't. You're right, and we don't have free speech in this country, so
No.
we don't even have the capability of fighting back with our ideas.
No, we're done. UK's finished, and that might sound a bit defeatist, but UK is finished. And we've come to this conclusion on a number of occasions on this show, to be fair. And that's probably why we both want to try and get to America. Because it's the only one left. And and don't get me wrong, the American government are a bunch of arseholes. But America's the only country left in the West that you have the capability of keeping your government in check.
Yeah, and I mean, Adam, you like me have small children, and in the country that we live right now, do you fear for them?
Yeah, I think, well, that's natural as a parent, you do anyway. But as things have got worse since, we've got older, you get more afraid. But you also realise that the world isn't as straightforward as it appears.
No, it's not.
It's a very complicated place full of bureaucracy and backstabbing. That's what the world is. And human beings are invariably selfish. And the ones that get into power, that want to be in power, want to control the ones that aren't. That's a situation that we find ourselves in. And, I want to respond to Harold in the chat, who says not very patriotic. Well, the fact of the matter is, we're on the cusp. We're on the cusp. If we're not completely down yet, we are on the cusp. And And all we can do is tell you the truth of the matter, regardless of whether or not you consider it patriotic. The truth of the matter is we're going to wake up one day and our children are not going to have any rights. We're not going to have any rights.
Is there a free place to go, though, in the world these days?
No.
Well,
But America is the closest.
South America, Central America is actually not a bad shout, depending on which countries you go to.
All it takes is a generation to kill freedom.
But yeah, you know what? America's the best. America's still got the best chance because it's a constitutional republic.
And their constitution does still mean something to a lot of people.
I mean, France
And
is done because it's given up its republic status, really. By being in the EU. Germany's done. It's never coming
And I'll tell
back.
you what, if Veradora were a real place, we would benevolently dictate you have freedom.
Yeah.
That would be our benevolent dictatorship. You would have freedom.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be allowed.
You wouldn't be allowed to overthrow us.
You wouldn't be allowed guns. You couldn't give them
got something
guns.
interesting.
What you got for us, Adam?
Do you remember that earthquake in Stoke?
Yeah.
Well, I've just seen a video from Chechnya where the Russians are testing their own version of HARP. And they're firing waves into the clouds. So maybe they attacked Stoke the other day as a test.
Waves of what?
Well, it just looks like ripples in the sky in the clouds.
So what you're trying to tell me is it's a very out there, outside, probably not at all possibility that the Russians rock the car parks.
Yep, Jackie, get on this.
Go on, Jackie. Come on.
Oh, God.
Seems real.
Yeah.
Come on, Jackie. Seems real.
It's like, do you sit in Russia with a drawing pad and go, we shall have a shot at Stoke?
There are too many car parks there. We must rumble some of them to rubble. Let's have a go.
Oh, yeah, bloody hell. Right, okay. We're nearly done.
Are we?
Yeah. Tesla. Right, so Tesla, Elon Musk's Tesla, has cut its prices for its cars, and its stock has gone up, and it's selling more cars. But I think Tesla's only selling cars on the strength of it being Tesla, right? You know, because if you're a lefty lover, you just love Teslas, even though you hate Elon Musk. See, it must be such a quandary for a lefty, because you really want to drive a Tesla, but you hate Elon Musk because of what he's done with Twitter. So how do you reconcile that? How do you reconcile that when you sit behind your Tesla thinking, I hate Musk, but I love his car? So what?
I don't know.
If you're a techie and a lefty, that's bad enough, because you know, on one hand you've got to hate Elon, but then on the other hand you've got to love what he's doing. So,
right, and then of course you've got to love him, because you know, if you're a Republican, you got to love him because he wants to go and conquer new worlds, like, you know, Mars and the moon and places like that.
Occupy Mars, baby. Occupy Mars.
So yeah, Musk is playing the field, as they say. Yep, just like Boris. Anyway, back to him. So while Tesla's doing that, Volkswagen, our German
VW.
Yep, our German compadres have extended their summer holiday for their EV plant.
Yep.
To 4 weeks. 4 week closure. And they've cut it down. They've cut down the working days in the next 2 weeks before they go on their 4 week closure.
Yeah, well,
because
let's face it, Volkswagen
they can't sell them.
No, they can't sell them because nobody wants them.
Yeah.
Nobody wants, only virtue signalers want electric vehicles.
So
Nobody wants them because they
Yeah.
are absolutely useless. In
So-
reality, they're useless.
Volkswagen.
Do you think there could be another reason for this, though?
Volkswagen saying the
Because
EV market's dead.
Well, we're seeing the ex-Audi boss, Rupert Stadler, he's just avoided jail. And they're also, I noticed the other day that VW are being, they're in trouble again because of the software they installed on their computers.
Yeah,
didn't
on the
they?
diesels.
In the cars.
Yeah,
on the diesels.
To scam the emissions tests.
You mean
But
the
it's
one
fifty-
thing
But
that
it's
Ryan
not just
McCormick actually did
Volkswagen.
right?
It's not just Volkswagen that did this. They all did it.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
And but the problem is it's 15% of every car,
Uh-huh.
and that's 8 million cars, isn't it, across, I think it was Europe, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want to read a chap from Jet into Orbit here who says, I live in a flat. I'd have to drop a cable out the window down to the car park to charge an electric car. They are impractical. Nobody
Yeah.
wants them.
Yeah, I know. They're fine if you've got your
And
own
we-
driveway and you don't have far to go to your work.
Yeah, I tried to drive one. I had one for 2 years, and it was just totally impractical. And I had to buy myself a little petrol sports car.
Yeah. Well, I had an
Imagine
electric
you
car.
driving in a sports
I had
car.
an electric car and it was absolutely fine, right? But I only did what, 15 miles each way to my work. I only
Oh,
did
yeah.
30 miles a day.
There you
There
go.
was no problem.
Yep.
No,
And the day I
like
went to
Uncle Brad.
Edinburgh in it, I had to stop for an hour on the way back to charge up before I could get home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I looked
It's
on the Zap map.
impractical.
I had to get from Leicester to Swindon, and that's about a 5-hour commute.
Right.
And it would have taken me 9 hours to get
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're taking you the whole day.
Yeah. Whereas you can just stop at a petrol station if need be in a regular car. Yeah, just stop oil are idiots. They're
Yeah.
idiots. They're absolute morons. And they'll take us back to the Stone Age if they're allowed to get their way. They're a cult. Unlike Veradora, which is not a cult.
Not a cult.
But unfortunately, Just Stop Oil make a lot more damn money than Veradora does at the moment. I will say that.
Are you bored of your monotonous existence? The demeaning tasks? The soul-destroying repetition? The grey, faceless drones that you work with? Is there a way out? How can you escape this? Join us. Come too. Veridora, the land of opportunity. The fantastical land of opportunity where you can be what you were destined to be. You can blossom. Join us. From sea to shining sea. Across our land we are surrounded by natural beauty and natural beauties. In Veridora, our beaches are completely unspoiled. Just like our women. Our land is plentiful and bountiful. Our cities are vibrant, engaging, colourful, enjoyable. Anything and everything that you need is there within your grasp, right there. Within 15 minutes. You will own absolutely nothing, but you will be ecstatic. Join us. It's within the grasp of anyone to become a citizen of Veridora. You'll never look back once you're there. You don't need to worry about anything. Democracy? Who cares? You have your benevolent dictators, Ben and John. They will look after your every need, make all the important decisions for you. You don't need to worry your pretty little head. You just go out and enjoy yourself. You'll get extras. You'll get early access to our dear leader's announcements. You too can become a citizen of Veridora. Just join us by becoming a citizen today at ko-fi.com/chasing descent or patreon.com/chasing descent or by using the join button on YouTube. You know you want to.
Veridora is not a physical place, and all rewards offered for membership will be fulfilled in a timely fashion. Chasing Descent appreciate any and all ongoing support. Not a cult.
Not a cult.
Unlike Just Stop Oil And on that note, John, I think that is the best time for you to say goodbye to
Well,
these wonderful, wonderful people.
One last item.
Okay.
Our friends in America, Raytheon,
Yep.
have asked for the retired workers to come back to work.
They have.
Yeah. To do what?
Time to make some more Stinger missiles, baby.
Make some more Stingers so we can sell them to Ukraine.
Yeah, baby.
Let's cash
war
in.
is big business.
Cash in. Make money while war reigns.
Military-industrial complex rages on. You know, war is big business. And on that note, it is time for us to say goodbye.
Yeah, it is.
And I want to say to you all, I love you muchly, and become a citizen of Veradora at the links. There are rewards. There are certificates. There are early access to your dear leaders' announcements.
There'll be even better rewards to come. But anyway, thank you for attending this episode 232 of Chasing Descent Live with me, John, with Adam, and with
Cheers.
Ben. It's been great for you.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer. What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.